What if the enemy wasn't across the battlefield, but standing right beside you in your own unit? Imagine a U.S. Army corporal secretly feeding information to the Germans, plotting sabotage while his comrades trusted him completely. This is not fiction, but the real story of an American soldier whose betrayal nearly cost an entire company's lives. His name was Martin Keenan, a man who didn't just desert, but actively worked for the other side. Stay with us until the end, as we uncover how his plot was exposed, his arrest, and his final fate. Corporal Martin James Keenan was born in Illinois in 1918. He grew up during the Great Depression, restless and ambitious but resentful of authority. Keenan enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1941, soon after America entered the war. He was assigned to a communications company responsible for field signals and radio operations. His superiors described him as intelligent but defiant, often questioning orders. Stationed in North Africa, Keenan became frustrated with military life. He disliked officers, complaining constantly about poor leadership. Rumors circulated about his sympathies toward Germany's discipline and order. He admired German efficiency, contrasting it to what he called American chaos. Some soldiers laughed it off. Others grew uneasy. In 1943, his unit moved to Italy as Allied forces advanced north. Morale was low, casualties high, and Keenan's resentment deepened. He began voicing anti-American opinions during downtime. A fellow soldier warned him to keep quiet. Keenan didn't. During a night operation, Keenan deliberately sabotaged his unit's radio transmitter. Communications failed, delaying reinforcements. 2 platoons were ambushed as a result, sustaining heavy losses. Investigators suspected mechanical failure. Keenan fixed the problem the next day, pretending to be helpful. No one suspected deliberate tampering. His confidence grew. Over the next month, he secretly mapped troop positions. He stored notes hidden in his rations kit. His motive wasn't ideology, it was bitterness and thrill. In December 1943, Keenan was captured during a patrol skirmish.
Stop!
Instead of resisting interrogation, he volunteered information to German officers. He identified weak points in Allied supply routes. The Germans offered him comfort, food, and protection. He agreed to cooperate, claiming he'd never believed in Roosevelt's war. German intelligence used him to draft propaganda, targeting American soldiers. He dictated messages describing hopeless battles and incompetent leadership. The broadcasts aired from Italian transmitters under Nazi control. His voice was disguised, but Allied codebreakers traced the content. The slang used proved American origin. In early 1944, the Germans sent Keenan back across the lines as infiltrator. He carried coded notes meant for sabotage targets. Pretending to be escaped POW, he rejoined advancing Allied forces. Military police accepted his story initially, but inconsistencies in his account drew suspicion. He claimed capture in a region where no battle occurred. Investigators quietly monitored his movements. A month later, sabotage struck an ammunition convoy. Evidence pointed to insider involvement. Keenan was placed under surveillance. Intelligence officers searched his bunk. They found a torn German map marked with Allied depots. Keenan was arrested immediately. Under questioning, he denied all charges. Investigators compared handwriting on the map to his field notes. The match was exact. Interrogators confronted him with evidence of his voice from captured broadcasts. His reaction confirmed guilt before words did. He confessed after 2 days of interrogation. He admitted sabotaging equipment, transmitting positions, and aiding German intelligence. Keenan's court-martial convened in Naples in 1944. His case was considered the most severe internal sabotage of the European campaign. Witnesses testified about his anti-American rants. Engineers described his deliberate radio sabotage. Prosecutors presented intercepted recordings. Keenan showed no remorse, claiming, "I was tired of following fools." The court deliberated only 1 hour. He was found guilty of treason and sabotage. The sentence? Death by firing squad. Appeals were denied. Execution took place on September 2, 1944. Before the rifles fired, he shouted, "You'll see, I was right." His body was buried in an unmarked grave near Naples. The military report sealed his record until after the war. His family received notice, executed for treason. No funeral was held, his name erased from service rolls. Keenan's betrayal shook Allied confidence in internal loyalty. Command tightened security around communications units. His sabotage prompted stricter background checks for radio technicians. Propaganda units studied his case to understand psychological defection. Soldiers whispered his name as a curse during Italian campaigns. The press learned details only after 1945. Newspapers called him the forgotten traitor. His execution reinforced discipline through fear of treason. Keenan's story vanished into classified archives for decades. Keenan's actions reflected how resentment, not ideology, can fuel betrayal. Soldiers under stress may crumble morally without strong leadership. His story teaches vigilance within ranks is as vital as courage against enemies. Betrayal often starts with small complaints that go unchallenged. His fate warns future generations about loyalty's fragile boundaries. Corporal Martin Keenan died branded as traitor to his brothers in arms. His name remains erased, but his story endures as a military cautionary tale. What do you think? Madness, ideology, or anger? Share your thoughts below. Subscribe to the Judas Files for more stories of betrayal history tried to forget. Next episode, another war where loyalty was tested and broken beyond repair.